Well, hello and welcome back to another great edition of the MCUSD 709 Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley, Eric Myers, and Coach, we finished up winter sports and now we're kind of moving on.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting, right? Spring sports just around the corner. I mean, they've started practicing. Games will start next week for a few sports. I mean, obviously the weather has been good. Then it's sort of taken a dip again recently.
It's been really good.
But it's been overall really good.
Yeah, really good weather. I would say a lot of our spring sports had tryouts last Monday. It was like 75 degrees out, so positive first week, but now we're back into the wonderful weather we have in Illinois called spring.
Yeah, we're getting what we kind of would expect. And obviously one of those spring sports that is heading down, to start, believe next week, right,
yeah.
is softball, right? And we recently had a chance to talk with our head coach, Ashley Beyer, and one of our seniors, Addie Guerra. So let's take a look at that interview. Hi, welcome back to our MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley here with softball representatives, our head coach, Ashley Beyer, and Addie Guerra. And Addie, let's start with you. Just, obviously a couple weeks into practice. What are you looking forward to this season?
I'm really looking forward to seeing how our team grows this year. I think we're going to be improving a lot, and also we just have really good connections with each other, and we always have fun. So I'm excited to see where that takes us.
Awesome. And then, Coach Beyer, let's talk about this. I mean, obviously, taking over as head coach. I mean, maybe almost the same question, but what are you looking forward to, or what are you trying to instill in the girls?
Yeah, I think we're looking for that fight. We're trying to get back to some of the basics of some technique and skill. But I mean, so far, even just that first week of practice, I mean, we had girls diving inside the gym. So we see that there. I think the most exciting thing is going to be is the girls are going to be surprising to a lot of teams in our conference this year. And I really, really, truly believe that. And I think the girls believe that. And I see their confidence starting to increase every single practice with that. So, I mean, I just want them to make a little bit of noise. And I think they want that too.
Awesome. Addie, let's talk about skill for a second. I mean, what's a skill maybe that you're working on or trying to maybe add to your game this year?
I think I'm really trying to improve on just having confidence on the field. I think that's one of the biggest things that each player needs to have, because without that you really can't do anything because you're just too nervous to. So that's something I really need to improve on, and also just being smarter on the field and just quick plays and stuff like that.
Awesome. And Coach, what about, obviously you look at the schedule and you talk about the goal to kind of make some noise this year, but is there any particular date on the schedule, a team you're excited to play, or is it just kind of get me to game one?
A little bit of get me to game one, because I'm just excited to see how it's all going to come together. I'm excited to see kind of what Addie said at the beginning, the growth that I think is going to take shape this year. But I would say if we're going to talk about conference games, I'm more excited to probably play Pekin, Canton. I think those are going to be some of those teams that we're going to maybe rival with a little bit more this year than in the past. So I'm really excited to see what they do with them.
Awesome. And Addie, obviously you're a senior. Talk about who else maybe has been a really good leader for the team this year.
Oh, for sure, Addie Booth. We've been playing since 7th grade together, so it's really fun seeing how we both grow and work together and just leading the team, I guess, because we were the oldest this year and last year, so we kind of got experience from that too, I guess.
All right, and then I'll throw it to Coach on the other side of it. Who are the youngsters that maybe people haven't seen play that might step up this year?
I think Kennedy is going to be stepping up a lot this year. I think we have Brennan, who's a freshman. She's got a really strong arm. She plays pretty aggressively. I think that's going to be exciting. We have a big junior class, so the great part about it is we have a very experienced upper class, and I think that's going to really lead those underclassmen to build that confidence that it is that we're working on, and just not being afraid to make a mistake and just going all out no matter what.
Awesome. And then maybe the last question, I guess I'll go to both of you with this. Maybe I guess I'll say it this way, success. How do we define success? What do you want to have accomplished at the end of this season?
In my opinion, I think it's just going to be seeing that growth in our team and just improving on each of these little skills that will ultimately lead to a bigger win or something like that.
And obviously, I know it's easy to say wins and losses, and obviously, yes, that is a goal, is to have more wins this year. But cutting down some of those, deficits as far as looking back at some of the games from last year, if we can even cut in half the amount of some of the things that kind of transpired, and I think that's absolutely going to happen. I think they have the will, I think they have the power to do those things, and it's just putting it all together and going out there and doing it.
Awesome. And then I guess I do have one more. When is game one? So if folks want to get out to Birchwood and watch the team play, when's the season opener?
Well, season opener is technically an away game. Okay. It's in LaSalle, Peru. It's a doubleheader on the 16th. But I think our next is our first home one might be the 25th or the 26th, that Monday.
I think so.
And then we play neutral at Eastside in like kind of a round robin with a Chicago team, and then I think Tremont's there, East Peoria is there, so some really good talent.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you both joining us, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you see, Coach Beyer's super excited about this season. Addie Guerrero bringing back that leadership, that speed, that intimidation factor, which is always pretty exciting right there. So best of luck to Coach Beyer and the Lady Potter softball as they take on a brand new season with a brand new outlook.
Yeah, I'm excited for them because obviously there's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. Anytime you make that coaching staff, switch, right? I mean, it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Speaking of switching, let's switch gears and go backwards to winter sports. And you had an opportunity to sit down or stand up and talk with more Potters Swimmer?
Yeah, Drake Shepherdson came in. We had a chance to talk with him. Obviously got the opportunity for him to go to state in swimming. We don't get to cover swimming, I feel like, a lot, partially because it is a co-op, so we don't get the same information sometimes as we get from our in-school sports. But let's hear what Drake had to say. Here with Drake Shepherdson, we're talking swimming and diving. And Drake, you sounded like you had a great year, but just talk to me about how this year went.
I thought it was like a really good year because I qualified for state and like our team went undefeated all the way through sectional, so I thought it was a really good year.
Awesome. And obviously I'm guessing the answer might be state, but what would you say was like your favorite moment about this season?
I would say honestly just like meeting all the people on the team and like making new friends, because like there were a lot of people on the team that I like never really knew before like joining it, so I thought that was like probably like my favorite part about it.
That's awesome. And then, I mean, obviously, again, like you had an awesome year. Hopefully, you're going to keep doing this for a while. What's maybe something as you obviously season ends, but you look forward to next year that you want to keep working on?
I would probably try and just like get to practice more and like practice more in the off season, so I can like hopefully improve more than I did this year.
Awesome. Appreciate it. And I'll ask you one more quick question. What's one piece of advice, somebody that maybe doesn't know much about swimming or wants to get into swimming, what would you say would be like the biggest piece of advice that you would give them?
I would say like starting like on a small team is like what I did when I was younger, and then I like started moving up to like longer and like harder practices. So just like start small and then like move up like as you progress pretty much.
Awesome. Thanks, Drake. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you can hear it. I mean, not to mention Drake had an awesome season, which state Peoria Journal Stars Swimmer of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, as a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty high bar to set right there. So,
yeah,
congrats.
For sure. And it's kind of exciting. I like the end when he talked about some of the advice, that he said he started small and then built up from there. And I mean, realistically, right, he's built up something very successful as a freshman. Huge, fantastic outlook for Drake going forward.
So great job right there. So, Coach, what do we got to kind of wrap this up? We don't have a lot to talk about.
No, it's kind of a light week because we're in that kind of in-between time between the end of winter sports and the start of spring games. I mean, I think the biggest thing is we're looking ahead, we're looking at those spring sports, and one of the fun things about the spring, I think, is you got a lot of different sports going on. We talked about softball, obviously you got baseball, you got tennis, you got track and field, you got soccer, right? So the spring is one of the most active times of the school year athletically, so it should be fun to see what transpires over the next few weeks, the next few months.
Yeah, for sure, and obviously boys track and field, or I think all the track and field already had their first indoor meet last week, so I know Layton Canute did pretty good right there, so we'll try to get some more information regarding all that stuff going forward. And so next week, maybe a little baseball preview. It's kind of in our wheelhouse. Maybe a little track and field.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what we can round up around here. So, Coach, any final thoughts?
No, I think that's it. Obviously, folks, get excited. Spring sports right around the corner, and hopefully the weather continues to get nice.
Yeah. So for Ryan Lindley, Eric Myers, until next week. Thank y'all.